What up? What up? What up? What up? How's it going,
Ese
Chris? How you
pinche
doing?
milagro.
En
I'm
vivo.
doing I'm actually tired today, bro, but I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I got good news for everybody.
Very nice. Very nice.
Old news for you probably, but some different news for our followers, for our listeners,
Beautiful.
you know.
Well,
Um
before you get into it, let's give our quick little intro. But welcome everybody to A Que Padre, a fatherhood podcast about Latino fatherhood in general, relationships, mental health, and everything in between. I am one of your hosts, Froilan, and I got my boy here, Chris, who's gonna give us a life update.
our life update. Buenas noches, guys. How you guys doing? Um I don't know if you guys can notice, there's a bit of a different background this time.
It's even quiet.
It is quiet, yes. So quiet, bro, that it's a little eerie, put it that way.
Ah, cabrón.
Um, but no, I recently moved to a new place, closer to my children. So I will no longer be doing the hour and a half commute back and forth to be with my children. And now I'm about 10 to 15 minutes away.
Okay,
So
okay.
just a stone's throw away from my kids now. So
Hey, you know what?
which is a great thing for me. Obviously, mileage and gas and all that, but the fact that my kids are very very close now, so that gives me a little bit more of a at peace, if you want to say.
Simon. No, it's awesome, bro. Congrats. I know that it's been a long time coming for you, and it's the one of many things that you got planned and you're working on. So, good for you, man. I'm happy for you and
Yeah,
congratulations.
appreciate it, appreciate it.
Um, I just got back from vacation, so traveling with the kids, intense. If you guys have kids and you travel or you're thinking about traveling, it's one of those things that's super difficult, but while you're there, it's worth it to culture your kids a little bit, if for lack of better words, kind of get them out of just the mundane and having them learn
Comfort
that there's
zone.
a bigger world, Simon. And going on a plane is an experience. If you have the little one like myself, dealing with people crying and the baby crying and people giving you looks on the plane, and I'm not a violent guy, but man, I was
You
ready to
got
throw down,
close.
bro. I was ready to throw
Yeah.
down. um, and yeah, man, like I was just like, man, I'm gonna say something. I was like, say something. He was giving me
Well,
looks, and I was like, say something. I was
the,
like,
the,
man,
in that instance, the only thing I could tell you is just remember when those eyes used to be you.
but it wasn't. It wasn't. I never. I never. I never. I
I don't know
never.
if
I
you
was never
know
like. I was never like, damn, shut that baby up. I wasn't like that. I was just like,
that.
man, that sucks. You guys are traveling with the kids, like, ta cabrón, like, damn, you guys are crazy. And then I would say, man, I'm never traveling with kids. Fuck that. And here we are,
Haven't I heard that before?
right?
Yeah.
And yeah, man. But overall, it was good. We got to go visit with some familia in Mexico, and went to Jojutla. My dad is out in Jojutla. Was able to go visit with him and my mom while they were out there.
Mhm.
Chicaloron. It was 102 degrees while we were out there every day. And
Was it?
then we went to Cuautla, all over Morelos. We went to Tepoztlan. I don't know if you know. But yeah, man, it was about an hour away from La Ciudad, and yeah, man, it was good. It was nice. It was really good. So I'm ready. I'm back. We're ready for another vacation without the kids, but that'll come. That'll come when it comes.
You
For
ready
now,
for another vacation from your vacation?
Simon. It's that's those are like the ones that you need, like the vacation from the vacation. A massage, go hang out poolside, get a little bit of color. Not that I can get much, but yeah, man. But yeah. So with that, what what topic I was thinking about for today is a self check. Meaning, how do you think your parenting's been going? Um, you know, do you feel like you've been a good dad? Do you feel like you're missing out on something? Do you feel how do you feel, right? Um, I'm sure we have expectations for ourselves, and we may or may not be meeting those expectations all the time. There's moments of doubt, right? Am I doing enough? Am I doing too much? Am I demanding too much? Am I, you know, where are we at? You know, we've been talking about fatherhood and being the best version of ourselves and trying to break this machismo that has been passed down, um, from when we were kids. And how are we doing? What's the self check? How are you doing, Chris? How do
First
you
of
feel you've
all,
been doing?
well, from what I want to start with, I personally I feel better.
Okay.
Um, Obviously, due to a lot of changes that that I needed to do and that was coming, um, I'm doing that. But as far as I think as far as being a parent, it's always there's always improvement, right?
Of course.
It's never like, oh, I'm the best dad and there's no whatever. No, there's always improvement. Um, right now it's a little tough.
Yeah.
It's a little tough because my son's getting to that stage in life where mm, I don't know if this is the right word, but maybe not that I'm not his priority anymore, but there, and I guess in his life there are little bit things that are more important right
Simon.
now, right?
Which happens.
And I'm trying not to let it, I guess, personal get to me in a way like, oh my, my son. Not saying my son doesn't want to do anything with me anymore, and stuff like that, but more like, all right, I got to figure out how I can still have his attention, by still being a father and not becoming his friend or his buddy or anything like that,
Yeah.
where he might lose respect or, well, you're always working or this and that. So as far as that stage, there's a lot of changes. There's a lot of changes that I'm going through, and the family's going through, and all that. So, um, with my daughters, yeah, I mean, everything that I'm doing right now is basically, well, for me, for myself too, but mainly for them because I do want to be there more. I do want to be there longer. I want to set a bit of a different type of atmosphere for them. Let them know that I am here, not spiritually or through the phone or whatever, but hey, I'm here. You call me, I'm here. Um, but yeah, I would like to work on that. See how maybe some of our followers that have older kids can throw some knowledge this way and see how they have dealt with it or whatever,
Yeah.
or how they're dealing with it.
Well, obviously you're going through some changes, right? So
Mm.
so you're going through, I guess, in a way, growing pains. Um, Obviously, your kids. Adrian's he's almost at puberty, right? Like ya mero, like
Oh
he's
yeah,
he's
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 there.
on he's in the cusp of it, right? He's getting
Yeah.
love, you know.
Oh, his
So of
voice
course,
already changed.
yeah. So of course, other things are gonna, you know, call his attention, and yeah, like you're saying, you're not the priority, but that doesn't mean that you take a step back and you let him do his thing by himself and you don't support him, and like, nah, obviously you're gonna go through this change with him, and you have to learn to adjust, and support him in whatever way you can, right? Because now it's more on him. It's more on him, and it's just you are gonna be guiding and being able
More
to
on him
ensure.
and more on me too. Yeah,
um
because now it's not like dad is there. Now it's okay. Now dad has to be there. You know, even if I'm in the background, I gotta make sure that I'm there so that if I mean, he's on that first step of high school, bro. So obviously it's a different culture as far as kids goes. There's a lot more kids, a lot of more involvement with other types of people, more adults, obviously. Now there's things there where he has to make his decision on what is it that he wants to do or go or whatever it is, you know.
yeah.
And like you said, it's a guide. I just got to make sure that he doesn't veer off too far off the lane, you know.
uh Oddly enough, I actually kind of on par with what you're saying. I saw a post today that kind of caught my attention and kind of got me thinking about what we're talking about today. Well, I saw a handful of them, but this one specifically kind of fits into what you're saying. Um, in order to protect our children, we have to be as awkward, as uncomfortable, and and get ourselves into these positions with our kids. Meaning, you're gonna have to have conversations that maybe you weren't thinking about having.
Yeah,
Maybe your kids. They're in, their friends are good. They're good students. They're not into drugs. They're not into doing anything like that. But
yeah,
you want to have those conversations before, they get introduced. Maybe you want to talk about sex. Maybe you want to talk about these things, right? So even though he hasn't seen them or experienced them before, you're gonna have these awkward, these uncomfortable conversations with him, so that you're the first to teach him. You're the first to kind of put these things on the radar, to kind of keep an eye
hmm
out, right? Um, and yeah, I think that's actually exactly where you're at right now. Where if you haven't already, some of these conversations are going to come up, and they're not going to be comfortable. They're going to be awkward. Um, there's conversations and topics that I know my dad don't talk to me about, and it's fine. Or he didn't talk to me, or he had a hard time talking to me about sex. But
I don't think I ever had that talk, bro.
yeah, it was an interesting one for me.
If we did, I don't remember it. But I don't think we did. Once he knew me and my brother and I were there at that stage, he just said, "Don't bring it to the house." That's it.
Oh, damn, yeah, it's different.
Well, that's the first thing that we did.
Mm-hmm. See, for us, yeah, well, at least for me,
Yeah.
I'd have to talk to my brother and see how his talk went down. For me, it was like, all right, mijo, ya tienes pistola con balas, y ya dispara. So, con cuidado. Okay, dad. ¿Me
Yeah.
entiendes?
That was it.
Sí, dad. Bueno, pues. It's like, all right, cool. You know? And it was awkward for him.
It
uh
was as straight as metaphorically as you can get.
Simon. And you're at that age where you kind of you get it, but you don't want to talk more about it, because of course, those are the things that you don't want to talk
Yeah.
yeah, you don't want to talk to your dad or mom about that. My
No,
mom, puta madre, I mean,
my mom. Well, actually, I was closer to my mom than my dad as
yeah.
far as teenage years goes, growing up and all that. Um, I remember my mom would just always say, no, no vayan a llegar con, what she would say? Con su domingo siete o algo, something like that, bro.
Viernes 13, güey.
Hey, something like that. No creo que la novia ya ande premiada, none of that shit,
Simón.
And but it was never like you said, there you go, Domingo Siete. I
Domingo
was like,
7.
what the fuck? And I didn't want to ask what that was, but I kind of put
You
two
put it
and two
together.
together, and I'm like, because I think with our parents, my dad would always speak with metaphors, you know, and or like little dichos that they knew, and I guess they figured that we would know, but I can't speak like that with my kids, bro. At least with my son, I gotta be as direct as it is because if I start talking with metaphors, he won't get it.
Well, did you talk with a lot of
And
metaphors
I've
growing
I've
up?
talked to him with metaphors and he doesn't get it. You know, unless I kind of throw in words that they use nowadays. You know, like obviously girls are becoming a little bit, attracted to him. And he's told me already a few times, hey dad, girls have asked me for my number, right? And I'm trying to learn the lingo as far as how I can get him comfortable talking with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, it's cool. So, what do you like this girl? Oh, she's okay. You know, okay. What like, but what do you like about her? I said, Dad, no, I don't want to talk about it. I was like, all right. So I'll leave it alone for like a minute or so. And yeah, and I'll go back to it. I'm looking at him in the mirror. I'm like, so what's up? What do you like about her? Dad, you're not gonna understand. Try me. You know, I've been through this many times. He's like, well, first of all, she's got a nice giat. And this is before I knew what that word meant.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, she's got a nice giat. I was like, what? What is that? You know? And until later on that night, I went to, TikTok and fucking Instagram and find out what it meant. I'm like, este cabrón. She's already checking out girls. You know what it means?
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't at
I'm
the
in the
time.
up and up, bro.
This was a couple months ago. Oh yeah, dad, she's got a nice Giat and blah blah blah. I'm like, cabrón, fuck is that? You know? But obviously I figured it out and the next day I saw him. I'm like, oh yeah, so that girl has a nice Giat, huh? He's like, how'd you find out? How'd you
How'd you
find out?
find
Like, well, you
out?
told me. He's like, but how'd you find out that word? What that word means? I go, come on. You know who you're talking to, right? Stop, Dad. Stop. Stop. So little things like that is what I need to learn. Obviously, the lingo. I need to kind of
Yep.
talk like him a little bit just to get him a little comfortable
Yep.
and just let him tell me what he wants to tell me.
Oh, of course. I mean, obviously I'm
I don't
not
want to
there.
rush it.
Yep. But taking myself back to like that time, when I was younger and my
Bro,
my
Gia
my,
means
my mom
a nice round buttocks.
my my mom would pry. She's like, just I don't know what, bro. I'd be like walking in, doing something, and how's this? How's that? I'm like, what? Bro, she would catch me off guard. And then she would ask it, and then, oh, okay. That's it. Yeah,
What's up,
okay.
Killa?
Yeah, see? She would just leave it,
Oh,
and then
Miss
and that's it.
Ochoa.
So she would just leave it. She would just leave it, but she would get me to talk that way.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where they're like, "Ma, guess what?" Then you have your little cheese sessions with your mom.
Yeah.
Um, but
No, güey. A
yeah,
mí, una vez, güey, prior to Mama, this is Ontario days, high school days, obviously our chat rooms, right? I remember one time, dude, that was, I was his girl for a while, for a couple months. And we did exchange numbers. And one day I get home, bro, I was already, I had started college. I get home from college and all of a sudden my mom's on the phone, you know? And okay, I go to my room, go take a shower, get ready. And I'm like, who are you from? ¿Con quién estás hablando? Oh, it's up to you, ¿no? So whatever, an hour and a half later, she hangs up.
damn, an hour.
Sí, güey. Oye, esta muchacha, blah, blah, blah. Qué buena gente es, and this and that. What the fuck? Who are you talking to? So and so from somewhere. What? Why? What? And then I hit her up. Hey, fuck, you talking to my moms and shit? Oh, your mom is such a nice lady, blah, blah, blah. Como que ya le quiero hablar, decirle suegra, and this and that, and blah. Oh, fuck. I didn't talk to her again.
Dropped.
Right? You got too close, girl.
Damn. Como dicen, and around this time, and you could probably use this one with Adrian. Adrián, acuérdate, para cuando tú vas, yo ya vengo.
Mm,
Right?
fuck. Hey, bro.
Bro,
At
esa
that
me la
age, how many
decían, güey.
times did you hear it?
Madre, güey. Mijo, ay, mijo,
And
para
then
cuando tú
and then
vas,
to make it
para
look
cuando tú
worse,
vas,
para
yeah.
cuando tú ya fuiste, ya vine y fui dos veces.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Para cuando tú vas, yo ya vengo. Damn, that's the one like, oh, you know? And
Yeah.
and I remember my brother tried to get smart with my mom one time and try to tell her, pues viste ma, yo ya fui, tú no quieres ir. Or he said something that just didn't make sense. He couldn't, no se acordaba
Something
del dicho.
stupid. Yeah.
Para cuando tú vas, yo también voy. Yeah, man.
That's funny.
Yeah, but so now it's navigating new waters for you. So now it's teaching some lessons. It's a different approach. It's a
Yeah, I
different
know.
approach. And I feel in a way with the move that you made, it's gonna be it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Um,
It is, bro. But the only thing that I have noticed lately, these past 2 3 weeks, is that he's not eager to call me.
well, of course he's not. You're not that cool anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, bro. Hey, sorry to tell you, bro. You're not that cool. You're not that guy.
Yeah, I'm not
It
anymore.
happens, bro. It happens. It happens.
No.
And
Only when he wants something.
only when you want something, exactly. And we've seen millions of posts of what we think about our parents at certain ages.
Yeah.
From when they're kids, we're like superheroes, right? Once they get to their teens, then they're not gonna understand. They don't get it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, están locos. They don't know what they're talking about, And then after that, we get older, and it's like, damn, he was right, you know. And yeah, man. So vaya con Dios. All the luck in the world. I am definitely.
Yeah, I mean it hasn't been a problem. It's just me getting mm, familiar with the situations, the feeling, and obviously I got the 10-year-old, but the 10-year-old's a girl, so it's
Yeah,
uh it's still different. It's still different. Even though she's daddy little's girl, there's only so much that I can do or relate with her.
Simon. Well, you have the experience of communication with Adrian at a certain age. So now, even
Hmm.
though it's a girl, you're still having that open line of communication with her, you know, and you'll be able to let her know that she can talk to you. I think that's the biggest thing too, right? Is making
No,
sure that they know.
luckily, when it comes to communication, even when they don't want to talk, right? When they're like, "No, Dad, I don't want to talk about it right now," you know. So I leave it alone for a couple minutes, maybe an hour or so, and then I come back to it, you know, because if anything, you know, obviously our kids are pretty much a direct copy of us, right?
Yeah.
Um, we know how we felt when we wanted to speak up or say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's different. A 4-year-old trying to act like a teen. My teen is trying to act like a teen, you know? Um, and plus, this teen is already taller than me, too. So, yeah. What was I saying?
About talking Iris.
Yeah. So, it's, I know what it is to hide things from my parents or not tell them right away or, you know, but I want to be to the point where, you know, like I've always been, you know, let them know that they can trust me with whatever it is they need, they want, you know, or they're having issues with. I think
Yeah.
that's the difficult part, you know.
Yeah.
It's letting them know that they can trust you. You know, because there's things with my son where I do tell his mom, but it's only because I know that she needs to know,
Oh, of
right?
course. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I know, and then obviously it'd be the other way around too, hopefully. But those are those, and then like he'll call me, Dad, why'd you snitch on me? I go, it's not snitching because there's certain things as parents we have to know about you or your sister because I don't live with you.
Yeah.
And when you and your sister are with me, obviously your sister has to know, your mom has to know about it too.
Of
You
course.
know, if you hear noise, I'm putting ice on my cup, right?
Yeah. So,
Um,
but yeah. No.
but
No. No.
he understands, you know, that it's not to get him in trouble, but just so that his mom and I are on the same page and can communicate about the same things, which is the kids, which is the priority, which is why we're doing what we're doing. You know?
Exactly. Um. Yeah, man. So I mean, you definitely are at a crossroads for your stuff. How do you feel like you are managing? How do you feel like you're managing this change?
Um, it's not 100%. I want to get better because I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I do talk to other people that have teenagers, and it's just some people can. It's just some people are not born to explain stuff, bro. You know,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, they're just teenagers. You'll get used to it. Nah, that's not the point. That's like me telling the kids, well, because I said so.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the thing, and you're trying to do things differently, right? You're not just trying to let be passive about it. You're trying to you're trying to navigate these waters and making sure that you're still being a parent, even though you're going through
I'm
changes and they're going through
trying
changes.
to do things different than how I was brought up,
Simon.
right? And not to say that I was brought up wrong, but there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know
Yeah.
as a kid, you know, that was left blank because it
Just
is what it
because.
is.
Yeah.
Because I said so. Because that's how it is, and we can't do anything about it. That's bullshit. We can always do something about it.
Yeah.
There's always a question, right?
Yeah. Um. So, yes, yes, I agree with you 100%. There is always something that you can do. It isn't things aren't just the way they are just because. If we were scientists, we would be making sure that there's more existential answers to these things. But uh, to answer a couple questions that people got on there on our Instagram for the topic of tonight, everybody, is a self check. You know, right now we've been checking in with Chris about how do you feel like you've been doing as a parent? How do you feel like you've been doing as a father? Do you think you've been meeting your expectations? Do you feel like you're being the great dad that you want to be, or do you feel like, man, you know what, it's hard. I can't find the solution right now. For whatever reason, I'm having a hard time right now. Uh, like, man, uh, like where are you guys at, right? Today's conversation is just about reflection. It's just about seeing where we're at. So with that, uh,
I don't know if I should
we'll have some
continue
comments.
saying that.
We'll take some of these comments that some people are saying here on our chat. So my boy Carlos is mentioning this, kind of going off of what you were talking about, Chris, with your son. He's, as a troubled teen, I wish I listened more to my parents and opinion taken into account more. As an adult, I see why I was stupid. Uh, yeah, and Carlos, the crazy thing about that is we were just talking about it, right? When we're kids, we're at a certain age, our parents, they're up here, right? They're
And
way.
then, before you continue, this is not anything bashing on our parents on how they did things or anything. This is just comparing on the things that we wish could have been done and how we are trying to figure out how to do it for our kids.
Yeah, but yeah, so as kids, you see your parents up here, right? They're on the upper echelon of how you should be. They mirror your actions. If you cuss, they try to cuss. If you try to do things, they try to like you're up here. They hit that teenage, right? The teens, and it's kind of what Carlos said. You kind of don't give a shit what your parents are saying. You listen to it, but nah, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand the struggles that I'm going through. Like they don't get it. Your son told you. I'm gonna tell you, but you're not gonna understand. You're not gonna get it, right? Directly, and just it's you're a teen. You don't feel it. And then once you get older than that, and you have your own kids, or you just you grow up and you become an adult per se, then you go like, damn, all the stuff they told me, damn, they were right. I should have listened, and that's fine. And that's part of growing up. That's part of us trying to be better people. But now we take that and we run with it when we have our own kids, right?
Hmm.
And we obviously we understand that, but we expect it, right? You're there, you're you're there to where you're at that switch now, where hey, you're not that cool no more. You're not that guy, all right? And it's cool. Now you just got to be a different kind of dad, right?
Yeah.
Um, I saw, and I'm gonna make a little bit of a switch, guys. I want to talk about a little bit of my experience right now, because I'm on the opposite end of you. I'm backwards. I'm in the beginning, right? I learned a quote. I learned a quote. I saw a story about a Japanese father that talked about how to raise your kids properly, or in his opinion, right? And he said that when the kids between baby to age of about 7 or 8, love them, show them love, show them compassion, let them make their mistakes, show them love and show them care. Once they get to 7 or 8, then you can start to teach lessons, actual life lessons, actual things that they can learn for their life, and things that can help them in the future. And it got me thinking, because, and I was telling my wife today, like I've been trying to talk to Emilia, who is gonna be 5 in a couple months. Like, she's been having breakdowns, and she yells and she gets upset and this and that. I hate you, rah rah. She full on tantrums, right? And I try to sit her down and try to explain to her why she shouldn't yell, why she shouldn't do this. Trying to give her a lesson, and trying to give her, and she'll look at me, and then she'll like whatever. And it got me thinking, like, that's not what she needs right now. yes, there's a time and a place, and I can correct and redirect. Right? We see behavior we don't like. Obviously, you want to stop it and you want to redirect. And this is not what we're doing. We're doing this and pull them away. Que se enojen, whatever. Pero to give a lesson at at that age, it's a little different. And that's kind of the struggle that I've been having lately, where I'm over here trying to give a lesson, but it's not coming home. It's not coming home. Um, and so that's kind of what I wanted to bring up is,
Can I
hey,
tell you what worked for us with Adrian?
a ver, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, what's something that maybe you did or said that helped
And I
you
saw
navigate
it
the
on the
situation?
video. I embarrassed him.
You embarrassed him.
Hmm.
Okay.
I
How?
let him know that other people were looking at how he was acting.
Okay.
So we went to the car. At that time, I told his mom, stay. We didn't have Iris yet. He was like 3. I told her, stay in the store, finish what you have to finish. Let me take him to the car. You know. And the first thing she says is, "Oh, okay, but don't hit him." No, 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 I'm not gonna hit him. You know. I took him to the car. He was, no, daddy, I want toy. Dragging himself. Mommy, mommy. I said, okay. Crying the whole time. People are looking, this
Yeah.
and that.
How old is he?
And not 3, almost 4. But Iris, baby mama was pregnant with Iris. Um, I set him down, in the front chair, in the front seat. And people were looking. The place was packed. People were looking. Lo dejé que llorara, que llorara, que llorara. I didn't close the car, nothing. I wanted people to hear. And yeah, cuando se calmó a little bit, are you done? And he don't understand. Are you done? Are you done crying? Are you done acting the way you're acting? Basically acting a fool. And he just looked at me. I go, you see all these people passing by? They're looking at you because how you're acting, because how you're crying for no reason. You know?
How old was
You
Adrian?
think what you, huh?
How old was he?
He was almost 4, 3, 4-ish. I go, you think how you're acting is appropriate? Yeah, he's with tears, but I'm not crying anymore. Just, I know, you think how you're acting is appropriate. You think that this is that it's the way we act in public, in stores, in front of other people. No, I go. So why are you crying? Because I want toy. Okay, did you ask for it? No. Well, then how do you know that you're not gonna get a toy? You know, how do you know that you're not gonna get whatever you want? I don't know. Well, then why are you crying? You know, to the point where he didn't know why he was crying, but he knew that because I guess, in the past, every time he cried, he would get whatever he wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this time, like I said, I made sure people saw him when I took him out of the store. I didn't hit him, I didn't pull him, nothing, just no de la mano bien. I didn't yell at him, I didn't look upset. I was like, whatever. Senté in the seat, and I let him finish crying. But I made it a point that everybody was listening to him, everybody was talking about him, and there was no reason for him to be crying over something that he didn't know he was going to get or not,
Yeah.
right? That there's a way of asking. And then right now we're shopping for the house, and it's not a priority for us to get toys at this moment, you know. And again, it's with the lesson, but I didn't get irritated. I was calm. I didn't hit him. I didn't pull him or nothing. I just made him see that his actions were for no reason,
Yeah.
But at the same time, letting him know that people were looking.
Yeah. So yeah, no,
And there's been
and that's
other
a great way to
there
do
were
it.
other times where other kids were crying, and I go, "You see that kid? Who cries like that? Me." I go, do you think he looks nice? You think he looks like a good boy? No, he's not gonna get a toy, huh? I go, no, he's not gonna get a toy, right? So obviously with that, there's other lessons. Yeah, and you're not always gonna get a toy if you're gonna behave. But he puts two and two together. Okay, if I behave, if I'm good, this time at the store, maybe I might get something. My odds are a lot higher than if I start crying.
Yeah.
You know?
Luckily for us, it's not. We don't have that issue of outdoors. In Mexico, she got upset one time. Like we walked in to get like diapers and wipes. Like we needed some, and so we went to the store, got that stuff, right? And de volada, güey, agarró, pum, pum, agarró juguete, agarró dulces. She just grabbed, there, I'm taking these. I was like, what do you mean you're taking those? Yeah, I'm taking these, I'm taking these. No, we're not. I'm like, girl, it's like 9 a.m. What do you mean? No, you're not taking that. But I want it. I
Yeah.
know you want it. I want it too, but that's not why we're here, you know? Um, so yeah, we've had those. We've had those. Um, I guess part of me is like thinking about again, taking that quote into consideration, that that the full lesson of how to behave and how to act is not 100% there. Because if kids are gonna act out, they're gonna act out, and there's nothing you can
Yeah,
do.
of course.
I mean, you wanna spank. That's your prerogative, and if that works for you, cool. That's what you want to do, and that's fine. I'm not here to judge. Um, uh, you know, uh, but if you want to take that approach or whatever approach you want to take, it's whatever you do. You just guys, whatever you decide, you stick to it, right? But um, I'm stuck in between, thinking like, well, you know, dude, like she's 5 years old. I can't I can't treat her like she's 10, 11. I gotta remember, yeah, she's
No,
older than my son, but no, she's 5. Like
I
she's still,
understand, but
you
then you
know,
need to start. You need to start not 10. Maybe 7,
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
because
But that's what I'm saying.
kids learn, bro. Babies learn how to manipulate us.
Yes, yes, yes. They're learning. They're pushing boundaries. They're trying to. They ask mom and they
Yeah.
ask dad and they do that. But what I'm saying is, wait, but that's what I'm saying. At 7, you said 7, right? She's not even 5 yet. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is, these things are gonna happen. We can talk. We can talk to them. We can redirect them. Tell them what is right and what is wrong. But I think we need to be a little bit more forgiving, in the sense that if if you tell them not to do something and they do it, doesn't mean they're a bad kid. They're fucking 4.
But that's not the point, though. You're not. We're not saying or cataloging them as bad kids. You also got to make sure that they start learning what no means, what yes means, what maybe, what right now, not right now, right?
Yes, and I agree with that 100%.
The one thing that Salcedo put right here, he says, he put earlier, as long as you raise them right from the beginning, it'll be okay when they're teenagers, right? He's
Yeah.
my kids respect me, right? Okay, great. I applaud you for that, but I'm gonna take a word from your dictionary. I'm gonna play devil's advocate in this one. Um, how do we know that is not fear instead of respect?
Yeah.
Because I respected my dad a lot, but I'll tell you this, I was more scared of him.
Yeah.
because my dad, if my dad was anything like how your dad is, uh, he would always tell me, "Fuck, bro." To the point, to this day, I just don't do it because I heard it so much in life. Like one of them is like one of those things that you said, the cuando tú vas, ya vine.
Yeah.
One of the things that my dad would always tell me, and I fucking lived it with Joey. Joey's still on. He's fucking he's witness to this. Nunca prestes tus cosas y nunca pidas prestado cosas o nunca tomes lo ajeno, right?
Yeah. How old were
Because
you
you
when you
just
got
never
that?
know. All my life. But when I got the lesson that fucking, I mean, hit, I was about 19.
Yeah.
I was about 19.
Yeah. So, and
Hold
again,
on, I'm
a
not
ver,
done.
a ver, finish your thought.
Joey comes to the house, Mr. Joey, and I've been friends with since high school, with a new car to us. Hey, Chris, look what I got. Fast and Furious times. I had my Civic. He had other cars. Blah, blah. He's like, drive it, test it out. It was lowered, right? So I boy, back in days in Ontario, a lot of the back roads were empty, just straight fucking 2, 3 miles long. Going 120 on the street was nothing. Long story short, fucking I end up crashing the car head on with another car. And the first thing in my head was my father.
Of course.
¿Qué te dije? ¿Cuántas veces te he dicho? I
Yeah.
was 19, bro. I was already working. I already had my own, I was very independent. I was already taking care of all my bills. And luckily the car was still ran, it still ran, it still drove. And I tell Joy, dude, we can't let anybody know.
Yeah.
This has to stay between us, and we have to fix it within a month or two. All right. Sí, la cagué gacho. Big time.
Yeah.
I get home, we get to the house, and we cover it up, right? In a tarp. We got covered up. And fuck, it took me about an hour, bro, to get inside the house. An hour. It took me about an hour to get to the house, inside the house. Y le digo, pa, ¿qué pasó?
La
Tengo
cagué.
que decirte algo. ¿Qué pasó? Le digo, pues no te vayas a enojar, ¿eh? First thing we always say, no te vayas a enojar, ¿eh? Ok, no, no, no me voy a enojar. Uh, Choqué un carro. I thought he was gonna go bananas, bro. I thought he was gonna go berserk. I thought he was gonna start fucking talking shit, cussing me out. Que te dije, blah, blah, blah. First word out of his mouth. ¿Estás bien? You don't know how surprised I was, how relieved, how. Because I was scared, bro. I was scared
Yeah.
of my dad, of what Salcedo said, disappointment.
Of
More than
course.
anything, I've always been afraid of disappointing my parents, right? And he said, ¿Cómo estás? ¿Estás bien? ¿No te duele nada? ¿No te rompiste nada? Nada. Nada. Ok. So, bueno, eso es lo principal. ¿Y tu amigo cómo está? Bien. And at first, I was like, how'd you know? He said, yo te vi cuando te fuiste. Okay, shit, fuck. This guy's eyes are everywhere. Which now
Simón.
I know how that works. Okay. ¿Cómo le vas a hacer? Not even, don't worry about it, I'll help you. ¿Cómo le vas a hacer? Porque lo tienes que arreglar.
Yep.
That's all he said.
Well, again, that lesson kicked in. You came in and you talked to him about it. You didn't try to hide it. You weren't.
I couldn't.
You know.
There's no way of hiding things from my dad, bro. There was no way of hiding things from my dad.
But even then, you could have. I mean, you were at the
Could
age where
have
you could have
tried.
been like, you could have
I
tried.
could have tried.
But you
Yeah.
came up to him and you talked to him about, and I'm sure as hell he knew that you knew his voice was in your head. Like, damn. Because I'm sure behind closed doors, I'm sure he told your mom, le dije que no
Oh, my mom
agarrar
was
lo
there.
ajeno. You
My
know what I
mom was
mean?
there.
I know, but
My mom was in
hey,
the kitchen. Yeah.
they have their conversations behind
Yeah.
closed doors, right?
In the
And
room.
I'm sure, I'm sure, I'm sure he was like, I knew it. I told him, and I knew it. But they let you handle it, and thankfully, um, you know, you learned that lesson, and you're gonna pass it down to Adrian and Iris. I did want to mention something though to bring us back in time again. That's a lesson you learned when you're older. Yeah, they give it to you, but you're older. And this is the reason that I was mentioning about being easier on our kids that are smaller. If any of you guys are out there with kids that are under 7, but essentially, you know, I was reading about an article written in 2009 that the kids that are in the middle childhood, which are the ages between 5 and 7, that's when they start to learn and they begin to see from other school age children perspectives and begin to understand how their behavior affects others. So this is when they start to actually understand, damn, if I do this, somebody can get hurt. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Oh, they start to understand that my
The
actions
repercussions. Yeah.
have actual consequences, right? Right now they're impulsive. They react. They can get in trouble. Again, we can redirect. I'm not saying don't correct. I'm not saying don't redirect. I'm not saying don't stop actions that make no. I'm not saying don't parent, right? I'm not saying let them run wild and just say you love them. No, 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 no. Do all that stuff. You always want to try and correct. You always want to try to be the order, right? But understanding that you can tell a 4-year old 5 times, don't jump or you're going to get hurt. Don't climb up there or you're going to get hurt. If you fall down, you're going to get hurt. They're not going to understand it. Not because they don't want to. It's just that
Yeah,
process
they're
in their
not
mind.
capable of doing it just yet.
That process in their mind, it just isn't working. And so taking this whole thought into consideration and about this quote that I read about, yeah, during this time you do want to show compassion, you want to show love, and you want to show caring, while at the same time trying to redirect and keep them alive. But the actual lesson, like an actual life lesson, something that's gonna go on wherever, they probably won't pick up on it. I don't know. It's just a thought. It's something that I've been reading. It's kind of where I'm
Yeah, but
going with, and
I
obviously
still
I'm gonna
don't
go to
think
it.
that just because they're not going to understand it at that point in time, that doesn't mean that you're going to give up on your lessons. You know.
Oh, no, 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 no. I'm not saying give up
The,
on this.
so let me ask you this: you just went on this vacation, right, with family, and there was other children around the same age from Mexico, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there a difference
In what?
on how the kids behaved?
Yeah.
And what do you think that difference is?
Uh. Oh, I don't. I mean, it's you're being too general. What are you looking for?
Well, yeah, in general, what did you see out of those children that you're like, damn, I know kids that don't do that, and they're the same age. Not specifically yours, because you're surrounded by kids right now. With other families, with other kids, other family members,
No,
friends, or whatever.
they have kids that are the same age as Emilia. Like I'm talking about by like days. Like
Right.
they're that close in age. I mean, they're kids. I didn't really notice anything different. Like, oh damn, look at her. She does that. Oh no,
Mm.
you know, same things. You know, there's a dynamic with older siblings, but que digas, oh man, those kids in Mexico los tienen como soldaditos. Nah, you know,
Okay.
they're kids. You know, I don't. Um, yeah, no, I didn't really notice anything that I can probably identify like that.
Okay.
And so a comment had popped up right here from our boy Steve. Um, so Steve, I don't want you to think that what I'm saying is don't discipline, don't don't stop, you know, bad behavior, don't don't try to tell them not to do things because X is gonna happen. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't do that. I do that every day. I do it all day, every day. What I'm trying to say is I can't hold it against my daughter that much because she just doesn't process it. She
But
hears me.
that's the point that I think what you're. I understand what you're saying, but what you're saying is not. mm,
Well, that's the two ideas here.
I understand what you're trying to do, but what you're saying is like you're trying to make them learn the lesson, and no, it's not that. But again, the more you are with it, that's what I'm trying to say. What Salcedo is, they know what a yes and a no is. They know what right and wrong is. They know all that, and they do, bro. They trust me, they do. They also learn how to, like I told you, they learn how to manipulate. As far as, oh well, when I do this, daddy comes right away. Or when I do that, mommy comes right away. So I'm gonna just keep on doing it, right? So
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I
and
don't
and
mean that they
uh
don't understand that either.
and I think what you are saying is that yes, we gotta have that discipline, but don't hold a grudge on because they did a tantrum yesterday. Oh no, I'm gonna be, pinche niña maleducada que estaba llora cuando quiere algo, ahí se ella con su mamá. No, 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 no. Of course not. Of course not. One, that would go with everything that we're trying to do here,
Yeah.
correct? And I know you're not like that. I know I'm not like that. I'm trying to be uh as close as possible to my kids. So it would be stupid of me if I would hold any type of grudges like that with my children.
Yeah.
And with you is you're starting, so it'd be idiotic if you did anything in that nature, right? Because you guys are getting to know each other right now. You know, you're learning their tendencies and they are learning your tendencies.
Yeah.
And they're learning that, okay, when daddy raises his voice and he says no, that means no.
Yeah.
When mommy raises her voice and she says no, that means no. It doesn't mean let me try it just in case. No, it means no.
Sometimes it does.
You know, but
Sometimes it does.
that's I think what Salcedo is trying to say is that we have to, us as parents, and from what we know of how we were brought up, no has to be no,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No has to be no, because there was very a lot of instances where I've heard it from other kids that I've known throughout the years is that, well, the more that my parents tell me that I can't do something, that means that I'm gonna do it. you know. But they don't know that that no means no. To them is a oh, it's a test. I'm gonna test them.
Simon.
I'm gonna test them because they haven't done they haven't done they haven't done anything about it. You know.
Yeah.
So I guess the main point is trying to get our point directly across at the right time and be serious about it so they can start learning how to take us serious and how to hey my daddy said no, I can't do it. I
Yeah.
could use many examples of my lifetime with my brother and I, but obviously we'd be here for hours.
Exactly.
So I think just keep on doing what you're doing, but with probably more assertive, you know,
Yeah.
more assertive and follow through with what you're saying. If you say no today, it also means no tomorrow
Yeah.
and the
And
following day.
and I don't think that's what I'm getting at either. Like I'm not saying don't discipline. I'm not saying don't stop bad behavior, don't correct it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't do that because they're little and they don't understand. No, 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 no. They're little and yes, they don't understand. They don't comprehend to a full extent, and I get it, but it doesn't mean you don't explain things, right? You still want to explain things, but what I'm trying to say is, I can't expect them to learn a lesson the first time. I can't
Yeah,
expect them to understand. Okay, you can't do that, right? Like
yeah,
I guess that's the part I can't, especially at that young age. After they get to 7 or 8 and they start, they understand a little bit more. And now they can comprehend the whys and the why nots or whatever. Then I can go heavier on the lessons. Is what I was trying to say. That's all I was trying to say.
but you got to start. You got to start somewhere because Vidal is gonna see that she gets away with it, and she did it. I did it.
Yeah.
You know?
And no, 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 and I'm not, and
They're
she
all
doesn't get
together.
away with things. And again, it's not about getting away with things. It's just after you're done, knowing that you might have to go over the reasoning as to why she can or cannot do things more than one time, and it's okay. That's what I was trying to
Yeah,
get at. You know, um,
yeah, no, I get it.
um, but yeah. So that's kind of what I was thinking. What I was going with. Yeah, I think that's what I had. I mean, what other thoughts? I mean, how other than that, other than obviously the changes that you've been going through with your
That's it for
kids.
now, bro. The main thing is right now I just need to stabilize myself and everything that I'm doing so that it becomes a habit, you know.
Yeah,
So it becomes a habit, and then that's it.
yeah,
Once it becomes a habit, then I have it'll be like second nature, you know.
yeah.
I don't know why we got kicked off. Bro.
It's weird. I don't know what happened either. Um, but all right.
Other than that, I mean, everything's good, bro. I can honestly say I'm in a good place. Everything is lining up. Hopefully, all the stuff that I want to do uh coincides. And right now, it's just timing, bro. Timing. Unfortunately, the day doesn't have enough hours, so
Yeah, that's what happens.
it's a timing thing. I want to say I envy all you guys, but you know, there's times where getting home by yourself and not having to do with other stuff is nice too. But that's just
Yeah.
That's just how what did they say? That's how the nickel rolls, the penny rolls, or some shit.
It's the way the cookie crumbles.
So where the cookie crumbled. Well,
Um. Well, I mean,
and
shoot.
just gotta do the best out of it, you know?
Yeah, and that's what we all can do, right? We all gotta just take a deep breath, take a step back, kind of look at where things are, assess. The end game is whatever it is for everybody, and just keep on keeping on, man. I mean, it's the best way I can put it, and that's kind of the way that I kind of get things
You know?
done. Is like I try not to get overwhelmed. Obviously, everybody's different, but I see a lot of things happen, and let's say I got like 10, 20 different things that I got to take care of. Take a deep breath, take a step back, kind of put everything up what I need to get done. If it's like a lot of things, I'll do the list, and then from there I'll be like, all right, well, what can I knock out quick? 1, 2, 3, boom. Let's knock out these three fast. Y vámonos. And this is gonna take longer. All right, let's do that. And then you start triaging and what's important, and what's the priority in your life and your day, and that's how you get things done, man. It's just find a way. Just find a way. Best,
Always, it's just, yeah,
just find a way.
everything's a little different for everybody at times, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, Regardless of what it is, it's just communication at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Communication and
Yeah. I agree.
not letting the little things get to you.
Simon.
Yeah. Which
Um,
is a whole nother topic we could speak about.
not letting things get to you. Maybe next talk. Who knows?
Not letting the little things get to you.
Yeah. Maybe the next talk we'll have to talk about that.
Hmm.
But other than that, I got nothing else, Chris.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Everybody had some good input. I
Yeah.
don't know why this thing. I don't know why it cut off, but
Yeah, that's
yeah,
really weird.
a lot of people had some good input. A lot of different people joined this time, so I'm glad. Other than that, yeah, bro. I mean, I'll stay in contact with you. Whatever it is that we have to do. Uh, I'm down here. I'm always around the area, close to your area. So
Yeah, well now you're around here. We
yeah,
can we can coordinate.
I'm in Norwalk a lot, bro.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Let my brother
a
know.
lot, especially by your mom's house.
Ándale.
So I don't know. I'm gonna call your brother, see if we could do our little Saturday brunch dates like we used to.
His back is all messed up, so might have to go buy breakfast.
Still,
Take it to him.
still,
Yeah.
damn, that one is a good chiropractor.
Cool.
I
All
need
right,
to hire
Chris.
that chinito that comes out on IG.
The chinito that's on IG. Yeah, take it.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes he's always in the hospital, in the hospitals, in the airports.
Yeah.
I'll message you some of his
Oh,
videos. A ver cómo
the
sale
one
ese güey.
the ones on the mall. Sit down. Sit
No,
down.
wait.
10 minutes. Sit down. 10 minutes.
No, no, no. Eso es about to see te chingar.
Cool. All right,
Yeah,
Chris.
I'm good, bro.
Well, I think this is a good spot. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Really great input. Really good talks. Um, we'll have to figure out a way to maybe put our actual conversation on YouTube and then stream it to Instagram. I don't know. That might be something else that we try
Well,
and
right
try
now
to
it's on
figure that
YouTube,
out.
so
Yeah, so we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube live whenever we have these. So that might be the play. Invite everybody to YouTube live. We might have a bigger screen. You might be able to see us a little better. Who knows? We'll see how it looks. But other than that, thank you, Chris, for a great conversation. Thank you, everybody, for your great
thank
input, and
you,
I
man.
think we're good to go.
Yeah, everything's Gucci.
Sweet. All right, everybody, y'all have a good night.
All right, good night, man.
¡Qué padre!